Hey everybody, welcome to my Suburban Oasis. So today we're going to plant some seeds. We're going to take a look at what I've been working on in the yard to get that new bed going. And we're also going to plant some allium, and then we're going to stake one tree branch on a very small Japanese maple that I have. So my name is Soleil and I garden here in Michigan in a zone 5B. If you're enjoying my video so far, give me a thumbs up on this video, subscribe to my channel, and even hit that notification bell to get notified anytime a new video comes out. Alright, so what we're going to start with is just a little bit of this organic seed starting potting mix. And this is a sphagnum peat with forest gold and a little bit of organic fertilizer in it. And now is a great time to get started on some of your more cold weather tolerant crops. If you haven't already, I am a little bit behind because it is some crazy weather lately. And lettuce does definitely enjoy a nice cool weather. So we're going to get it sowed and then we're going to grow it on, and then we'll plant it out into the rest of my potager garden. First, I'm going to add some water into this potting mix because it's dry right now, and then we'll use it to fill up the tray. I always like to pre-moisten my soil mix, and it looks like this is going to require a little bit more. If you pre-moisten it, it does help to make sure that the seeds have good contact with moist potting mix. And this seed starting mix, because it's so dry, you want to get it wet beforehand, and that helps to get it thoroughly moist instead of just pockets where there may be some dry. So this is damp, but it is not wet. And I'm just going to add a little bit more water to it before I plant the seeds. I'm trying this seed starting mix for the first time. This is from my friends at The Next Gardener. They also sent me this tray, which is fantastic. It has a lot of smaller holes, so I can get these just the right size. They'll be small, but just ready to plant out. So I can actually put a lot of seeds into one tray. Going to tap these off, and then it's good to also kind of use your fingers or a thumb to just push down a little bit. Don't tap it down so that it's too compact, but just enough so that you know that all of the air pockets are out and that the seed starting mix is filling the hole. That way there'll be plenty of area for the roots to grow on. Okay, the first ones I'm going to sow today are black-seeded Simpson. This lettuce is about 40 days to harvest, so it's fairly quick, which is why I'm growing it. I also have some kind of season extenders that I want to try out this year. As usual, in the middle of filming, a storm came in with up to 60-mile-per-hour winds. And so it rained. So we're going to finish up now. So I apologize for the interruption. I did get 2 rows of this black-seeded Simpson lettuce planted, and I'm going to do one more. And I'm doing about 3, maybe even 4 seeds per cell, which is a little extra, but that way I don't have to worry about whether one germinates or one does not germinate. And then I'm just gonna kind of tuck them in a little bit here. They don't really require much coverage, about 1/4 of an inch under, because they're very small seeds. So we'll get those tucked in. Alright, so we got the first 3. Then we're going to do a gourmet blend. This one is about 45 days to harvest, so it's a little bit longer, but I like to have the different kinds. And I got like a row cover, you guys, from Gardener's Supply Company that is supposed to help extend the season. So even if these go a ways into November, I'm hopeful that I should be able to continue to harvest. Okay, so we'll do 2 rows of those, and then I almost forgot, and thank goodness I remembered just before I was coming out. I have some other seeds that I had gathered earlier this year, which were from my allium bulbs out front. So remember, I had the Allium Karatviense. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Let's see what I can get out of here. And then I've let them dry in this paper bag. I think I'm going to need to grab a paper plate. Be right back. Okay, so I'm going to dump these out on the paper bag just so you can see what I have here. Dump things out from the paper bag onto the paper plate. We'll see how many seeds that I have in here. Someone was actually asking me about these just the other day. These are the wide-leafed alliums that I have in my front yard, and they're really pretty. They bloom a light pink, and the leaves are a very wide bluish color. I'm just tucking this lettuce in. I almost forgot to do that, you guys. Okay, so here the black spots are the seed that I'm going after here. So I think I'm going to take maybe 2 or 3, probably 3, and put in each cell. Again, I'm not sure what the germination rate will be on these. So I want to make sure that I have enough because I'm really excited about having more of this. Hopefully I'll have enough here to do 2 rows. It's okay if I get a little bit of other debris in here. These will require a little bit more depth, so I'm just going to push these down, and then I'm going to cover them with a little bit more soil. I'm guessing because of the size of the seeds, they probably go down about a 1/2 inch as opposed to a 1/4 inch. Now I've just crumbled up some of the rest of what was remaining on this plate, and it's not very easy to separate them from all of this, but I'm going to try and scoop them into my hand. Alright. By crunching it, I was trying to get some more of the seeds out from the debris, so I can get as many seeds as I can. And what I'm going to do with the rest of these is put them just direct sowed in the garden. Alright. And I'll show you what I'm coming up with here. So I've got quite a few more, which makes me really happy. So I'm going to toss these back into this bag, and I will put them out into the garden directly. That way I can see whether sowing them in these cells is a better way to go about it, or if sowing them directly into the garden is a better way. You never know. Different plants definitely do different things. Now the next ones that I'm going to seed before I tap this off are going to be the Purple Sensation. And I have a ton of these seeds, you guys. These are really easy to collect. As you can see, these look exactly the same as the other ones. I think one of them bounced into the other group. It's okay, I should be able to tell the foliage from each other because one is green and the other one is a more blue color. Do one more row of these because I have so many of them. Last year I grew some Glowmaster alliums that I had found broken off at a garden. They were on the sidewalk and they were dried seed heads, and so I collected the seeds and I planted them and they started to grow on, and just after they started to grow on, the chipmunks came and they dug them all up. I was so sad. So hopefully they don't do that in these trays. Alright, and I have just a whole bunch more of these that are left in the bottom of this bag, so I will also put those out into the garden. I'm going to toss this real quick. And now we're going to see if I can get any seeds out of the Allium giganteum that I had gotten. Because I do not see any, and I don't know why. Maybe they're supposed to look different from the other seeds. But they appeared to be very well pollinated for the most part. Unfortunately, as I crush them, I'm really not seeing any seeds in here. So I'm not sure why, but I'm not seeing any seeds in here unless the giganteum seeds are much smaller than the rest of the seeds. I have popped several of the what look and appear to be seed heads, and there's nothing similar looking. Now again, I've never grown these from seeds, so you all can tell me if I just am not recognizing them. I'll save this bag in case somebody tells me that they're a different color and they're teeny tiny. Alright, one more thing that we're going to seed in the last two rows before I cover up the allium part is some foxglove. So I'm going to plant these and grow them on, and these grow in part shade to full sun, and I want to put some of these into the new area because it is definitely part shade and I need some plants over there, and I think foxglove are gorgeous. So if you sow foxglove, notice they are this small. And again, tell me if the Allium giganteum seeds are supposed to be that small as well. Let me know, because then I have a bunch of them, I'm sure. I usually have really good success with these. You don't have to cover them up much at all because they are so tiny. So I'll just kind of brush those into the soil. Make sure they have good soil contact. And now I'm going to grab my mix to cover up the allium seeds.
Ready?
You don't need a lot. I'm just going to put it right over the top. Now, I'm not going to put markers on these. Normally I would, but I know exactly what's in here, and I'm going to be planting these out rather quickly, hopefully. And I can tell really easy the difference between the foxglove seedlings, the lettuce seedlings, and the allium seedlings. All right, that looks great. So now we're going to plant these allium out. These are Allium Karatviense, and this is one that I don't actually have. These grow in full sun to partial shade, and you put them about 8 inches deep, so quite deep. And I'm going to put 4 of them into the same hole, just so that, well, maybe I'll put 2 and 2, probably 2 and 2. And these bloom in the early summer, and they are hardy down to zone 5. I'm in a zone 5B, maybe a zone 6A, but these are hardy between zone 5 to 8, so that's what they're good for. And we'll go dig a hole, and what I'm just going to show you is the top and the bottom, so you know. Got a whole bunch of bulbs coming. This is the bottom. You can see where the roots are growing, so you want the pointy side up. And these are fairly small allium bulbs, but they will be really beautiful. And here again is a picture. All right, let's plant them in the ground. So this is a really nice sunny bed, as you guys know. And so I'm going to put some right down in here. Hopefully I'll be able to dig fairly easily. We just got so much rain all of a sudden, it came out of nowhere again. All right, that came out pretty easy. Then I'm going to drop 2 in. Pointy side up. And then just pop that soil right back in. So easy to plant bulbs. Now I'm going to put some other ones right over here. And these will hopefully come up at a time when not a lot of other things are blooming. And we'll pop these down in here. And I'm doing the full depth of this bulb planter, which is not 8 inches, but I think they'll be just fine. So that's pretty quick, isn't it? All right, I want to show you a couple of other things that I have going on. I have some video footage from just yesterday or the day before when I was working in the garden, and so you can see a little bit about what I've been doing, but I want to take you into our way back garden and show you how I've been lining the back of the fence as well. So it's hard to tell from there, but things are coming along pretty well. They're progressing. I've gotten pretty much all of the soil down that I want to have down. I'm going to wait to do this back part because I want to get all of the lilacs out from that area before I do any more. So let's get some of the mulch down. I know sometimes videos where gardeners are hard at work are not always the most popular because we don't always look our best when we're doing that, but we definitely feel our best. So I wanted to share this project with you. And I hope that you enjoyed it because it's going to mean some more excitement in terms of things that we can plant here. And we'll look at it from the other side as well. Tell how much cleaner that looks. And I think I want to put a pieris right here and then maybe right in here. So those two things then will help to provide evergreen structure in that part of the garden. So this is the area that I've been working on. You can see I still need to do a little bit more cleanup, but things are coming along well. I've gotten down all of that mulch. I have everything cut down over here that are the lilacs, and I've gotten my 2 pieris potted into the ground. Everything's looking good over here. Now I'm going to show you on the back side in my way back, what I refer to as my way back. So this may be the first time that you've come back here with me. I have done some videos on this area last year. If you want to check those out, I will put a card up for you. But you can see how I'm putting these old retaining wall blocks that I talked about back here. And I still have some more debris and bushes to clean up back here as well. But I think that's really looking nice. And eventually I'm going to be trying to get these a little bit flatter so that the stepping stones are down and are not poking up above the ground. And I've cut a lot of the trees along this edge away, including some of this invasive buckthorn tree, which is here. And then you can see I've planted some hellebores and some macrophylla, hydrangea, macrorhizum, macrorhizum geranium. That's what those are. Sometimes my mouth gets ahead of my brain. And then in this area I have vinca, and I have a variegated Solomon seal down there. I also have the variegated vinca up here. And I have some geraniums that the deer have eaten. Here's another hellebore. I'll probably be dividing some more hellebores to bring back here. This is an almond tree or bush, which, as you can see, has been nibbled on by the deer. So we'll see if that actually survives or not. I have some pink veronica, and you can see some of these garlic chives are blooming right now. I've got a few mums that are back here, and it's really pretty in the springtime because I have the ajuga that is filling in as a ground cover, and over here I have chives. So it's starting to come together. This is some catmint over here, the Walker's Low. And I have a juniper here. I'm going to take you down these stairs. I have some obedient plant down here, which is very disobedient, but I don't mind if it's disobedient back here because it's not in my main garden. Over here I have some chives and mums as well. More of the variegated vinca. I have some of that stackies here. This is the betony. And a small arborvitae, which I have to protect because the deer will actually eat those. So this is the stairway that goes up and down. And here's where we keep our trail cam so we can check out the deer action back here. And the deer have definitely eaten my 7 Sun bushes that are back here, so I have those being protected. And I have a couple junipers right here that actually are doing quite well compared to the 7 Sun bushes, which are not much of a bush because they have been defoliated by deer action. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now, and I've been creating this path that goes along the bottom right here. Take you over there really quick. The reason for this raised path is just to help me get a little bit better access to the garden. It's hard to tell how steep it is, but it is quite steep to garden on and to work on. So it was helpful just to have this up a couple of feet from where the ground originally was. And I'll just continue to bring in material, raw material from throughout my garden. I've used sticks and I've used mulch, the arborist mulch, and I've used leaves, and I probably will use a lot more leaves again this year. You can see here I have lots of garden debris here just to pile it up. Well, I wanted to show you this area as well today because it's just glowing with all of the beautiful flowers that we have. We've got the beard's tongue and the phlox and the asters and the hibiscus. It's just gorgeous. So thank you for joining me today. I know it's a bit of randomness, but that's kind of what happens when we have lots of weird weather, and I hope you are having a little bit better weather than us and that you're enjoying your gardens despite the heat and the mosquitoes. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you next time. Bye!